Yeah, he didn't do a lot of the stuff he said the first time, but he tried. You know, Hillary, lock her up. Yeah, he tried. He tried to get Sessions to do that.
Not really.
Yeah, he did.
No, he didn't.
Not really? Not really? What does not really mean? Okay, not really are the two most worthless words put together. Not really? What does that mean? Yes or no? If you're dating someone, a young lady or a young man, and you ask them, you know, because you're a responsible adult, and you say, hey, are you safe? Do you got any STDs or anything like that? And they respond to you, not really. You gonna look at them and be like, what the hell you talking about? Not really. So one thing that is 100% embarrassing for anybody is to go to school, go through high school, graduate at the top of your class, and then go to college, a couple of colleges, earn these amazing degrees in, you know, political science, and just be amazing at what you do. You start your own company, and then you become the face of political commentary. Okay, that's an achievement that a lot of people can't do. You know, and that should mean something. You should be in a position to where you have the authority to speak truth and factual information to people who are listening. That's something we can agree, right? But what is sad is when an individual like that who had that amazing journey gets shut down by dick face Bill Maher. Yes, dick face himself has the ability, as dumb and ignorant and just disconnected from reality as he is, talks to Ben Shapiro, and even with all the intellectual intelligence that he has, he can't compete with someone like dick face Bill Maher. And if you know who dick face Bill Maher is, let me know in the comments by saying dick face Bill Maher. I'm pretty sure he'll appreciate that. But he's Ben Shapiro's on dick face Bill Maher's personal podcast, and you know, like, they're just talking about, you know, Trump and just politics, you know, as general. And Ben Shapiro, he demonstrates that you can be so smart that you outsmart yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just kind of sad because he just sits there and the only thing he can do is just make a joke, because he knows deep down inside he has no argument and he looks stupid in front of Bill Maher. May I add, dick face Bill Maher. You know, so let's go ahead and watch. Well, first let me make sure that this is set here. Hold on, give me 2 seconds. Boom, there it is right there. All right, let's go ahead and watch Ben Shapiro just like totally just missed the whole basic simplified answer to a conversation. Not every conversation needs a super hyper intellectual answer. Sometimes 2 + 2 is 4, baby. That's it. You don't have to complicate that. But let's watch and pay attention.
The great part of being a cult leader is that you no, seriously, is that when it's about personality, and this is true, and you know, it's funny you bring up Hitler. It's like he's the one talking about Hitler now. I think it's hysterical that for years now, you guys don't seem to care at all that the only human who he has ever not shit on is Putin. Like, everybody else gets it.
Which is weird. Which one should already raise red flags in your mind? Like, he'll shit on anybody else except for Putin, right? And I thought Putin was the bad guy. You know, growing up, Russia scary, Putin scary. But that's his BFF. That's Trump's BFF. Really? Okay, got you.
Friends, enemies, people back in the fold, everybody gets shit on except, and a couple of other dictators he likes. But now he's sort of like thrown that mask away and just like, you know, I like all these people who are Hitlerian. Let's just say I like Hitler too.
Well, I mean,
which is true. His generals people in his administration, within 2016 to 2020, spoke out about that. So, I mean, that, like, maybe we should ask questions. Maybe. I don't know. Like I don't know if we still live in a free country to where we can ask questions. Why does Trump want loyal people like Hitler had? I don't know. Maybe he's doing a study or something and just trying to, or maybe, just maybe, he's thinking about some things. I don't know.
It's kind of funny.
Well, here's the thing about the whole Hitler thing. So, as somebody who has a bit of a dog in the Hitler fight, right?
I was going to say.
Like the funny, as somebody who has a bit of a dog in the Hitler fight.
Funny.
Well, here's the thing about the whole Hitler thing. So,
so anytime you have to start a conversation to try to defend somebody glorifying, praising Hitler, and you start up by saying, okay, about this Hitler thing. Okay, like that already doesn't sound like you have a good defense. When you call Hitler a Hitler thing, whatever that's supposed to mean, come on, Ben, you need to do better. That makes no sense at all. A Hitler thing, all right? Got you.
Somebody who has a bit of a dog in the Hitler fight, right?
I was going to say.
Like the funny hat, says something about it.
Yeah.
As somebody who actually cares about this sort of thing.
Okay,
I was with Trump like 2 weeks ago at the grave of the Lubavitcher Rebbe with the hostage family, where one of the kids is being held right now in captivity by Hamas, American kid.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you something Hitler didn't do. That.
Right.
So for all of the jibber jabber about the stuff he says, the thing I've always said about Trump is that on his gravestone it's going to be written 45th, maybe 47th president of the United States. He said a lot of shit, and that's true. He does say an enormous amount of shit. And the way that I look at Trump is, and then what does he actually do? And I've noticed many of the people who are calling him Hitlerian seem to be perfectly okay with the pro-Hamas protesters on campus or with slow walking aid to Israel in the middle of a war with actual people who agree with actual Hitler. I mean, in Gaza, they used to have like an actual store called Hitler 2. That was like an actual shop. It was a clothing shop in the Gaza Strip. It was reported on by the Jerusalem Post in 2015. And I'm more concerned about that, frankly.
Nazi uniforms were sharp. There's just no way around
it.
Then
they get into the...
Just the way that the cut on those leather. Now, there are things I don't like about the But I can answer your question there about like he just says stuff. I mean, you're so sanguine about this, it just amuses me. And it won't in the future because, he didn't do a lot of the stuff he said the first time, but he tried. Mm-hmm. Hillary, lock her up. Yeah, he tried. He tried to get Sessions to do that.
Not really.
Yeah, he did.
No, he didn't.
Not really? Not really? What does not really mean? Okay, not really are the two most worthless words put together. Not really? What does that mean? Yes or no? If you're dating someone, a young lady or a young man, and you ask them, because you're a responsible adult, and you say, hey, are you safe? Do you got any STDs or anything like that? And they respond to you, not really. You gonna look at them and be like, what the hell you talking about? Not really. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not an answer. Either he did or he didn't. But to say not really, Ben, once again, you're showing your ass and it stank. Okay, it don't stink, it stank. All right.
And he certainly tried to not honor the election, and as I said from the beginning, didn't concede. He tried everything. He did not have in place enough lackeys and stooges to pull it off the first time. That may not be the case the second time.
And if you believe in the whole Project 2025 thing or not, it's a plan to implement these people who are loyalists into these positions. So there's not going to be no next time. Oh, he didn't have this person or this person to stop him. Like the whole cliche thing, there were adults in the room, that kind of tamed Trump in some of the crazy things he wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? But this time, that's not going to happen. And we can disagree or not, but unfortunately, I don't want to take that chance. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be like, let's just, just see what he does. You know what I'm saying? Like, you wouldn't give the keys to an individual who has multiple DUIs and he's literally drunk in front of you. Trump has not conceded nothing. He's still saying that he won the election and it was cheated, and he's kind of priming this election with the same rhetoric. So why are we going to give the keys to this individual who's clearly drunk and doesn't care about the DUIs he collected the past few years? He doesn't care. So can we be the responsible friend and make sure we don't give that person the keys to the car? Because this time, more people are going to get hurt. I'm just saying, let's just throw a little logic in there. It ain't hard.
That's my worry about Trump. The whistling past the graveyard of, he says a lot of things about the enemies within and all these words and phrases that we heard from places where they did conduct pogroms about people. That's exactly what they said in Rwanda.
And it's funny. It's crazy. And I did in my last video, he has quoted so many Hitler straight out of the book, straight out of his quotes, just in the past year. It is unsettling. You don't accidentally quote Hitler. I mean, am I the only one that's tripping about that? You know what I'm saying? So you can't just pass it off like, oh, he's just saying some crazy things. Like, no. He can say some crazy things, but we should not let him be president again. Let him say all the crazy things he want on Twitter, on whatever stupid social site that he's on, but he can't be president. I mean, maybe, kind of, sort of. That's not an excuse. He just said some crazy things. That's it. No, Ben, no. What are you talking about? Like, oh, man, I start to wonder, are those credentials that he has, are they real? Or did he just pay somebody to say that he went to, all these colleges? Because I'm starting to ask some questions. All right, let's go to the next one here.
You want the pursuit of happiness, blah, blah,
So
blah.
let me see.
But yes, some number of people are going to fuck up. And we should also have immigration and some number of people who come as migrants.
So let me
yes.
set this up. So Bill Maher was talking about legalizing pot and comparing, pot to, a lot more harmful drugs. And he's trying to relate to Ben like, hey, pot should be legal and you shouldn't take, some of the few cases of people abusing weed, which I guess it is possible, to the masses. You can't take a few and just say that's how all people who smoke weed, how they abuse the drug. So that's his rollout into immigration, which is crazy on his own, how he connected those two. But
you want the pursuit of happiness, blah, blah, blah. But yes, some number of people are going to fuck up. And we should also have immigration. And some number of people who come as migrants will commit crimes. To try to pretend that that's the whole issue of immigration, yes, it's one thing you factor in when you go, what's the right answer on this? Mm-hmm. And certainly that answer isn't no immigrants. You want to have no immigrant crime? Have no immigrants. That's not the right answer. Anything in the middle, would you concede, is some mixture of both?
I mean, of course, there are always trade-offs when it comes to public policy, of course.
Okay.
The real question I'm asking, I suppose, is about externalities, level of addictiveness, because, again, as pot has gotten significantly more powerful, I mean, it's not the same pot as when I was growing up and kids in school were smoking and passing it around.
Okay. Well, as someone who's been smoking steadily for...
And now let's fast forward, because now they start talking about weed once again, and myself, I don't smoke weed, so I'm not really, don't really care about that conversation. But let's go to where he brings it back to what makes sense.
Reputation for smoking pot all day long, because they do. That's so far from me. So I'm just saying that's the spectrum when we're talking about pot. Don't judge me by the worst people who do it.
No, I'm not trying to take away your pot, as I made very clear to you.
Do you agree with that principle?
I mean, I think that obviously that's true. I mean, that doesn't necessarily dispense with the public policy considerations, right? I mean, you have to look at then you have to look at the data. What are the percentages of people? What are the ages where it's most likely to be addictive?
So, okay, rubber meets the road. Should it be legal or not?
All right. Hey, Ben, Stay there for me. Stay right there for me. All right. I got something for you. You said, well, in that case, we have to look at the numbers and then construct legislation, policies, rules to that. You know what I'm saying? Once again, you can't take a few incidents when it comes to legal immigrants committing crimes, horrible crimes, to all the illegal or legal immigrants. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? It's like having, myself having one extremely bad run-in with the police, and now me saying F the whole police. I can't do that. That's not being honest. That's not being fair. Now, that's a whole nother conversation in regards to police. But to say that's every police officer, because I myself had some really good run-ins with police officers. So I can't be disingenuous and say every police officer is, F them all. I'd be lying to myself. But Ben, stay right there. You say you want to look at the data. And if I can pull this information up using good old Google, reading a few articles, you can too. So let me read some things for you. Overall crime rates. Multiple studies indicate undocumented immigrants have lower crime rates than U.S. citizens. Violent crimes. Research from the Cato Institute found undocumented immigrants are 42% less likely to commit violent crimes than U.S. citizens. Okay. Property crimes. Undocumented immigrants are 24% less likely to commit property crimes compared to U.S. citizens. What more numbers do you need? Oh, you need more? Okay, check this out. Drug violations. Undocumented immigrants have slightly higher rates of drug-related arrests, though overall rates remain lower than those of U.S. citizens. I got one more. I knew you was thinking that. Incarceration rates. A study from the Cato Institute shows that undocumented immigrants have 47% lower incarceration rates compared to U.S. citizens. So, Ben, what more numbers, what more statistics do you need? Because that right there kind of says it all for you. So I'm kind of led to believe that it's not the crime that you're worried about. No. Of course not. Because if it was that, then you would have been upset with Trump telling Republicans to not pass the bill that the Democrats were trying to pass to get more border security, to try to assist with the asylum process. You will be upset at that. But no, what the real issue is, you just don't want immigrants coming into the country. And why? Because you want this country to only look like people like you and only believe in what people like you believe in. That's the only thing. So don't give me no excuse of, the crime and this and you're just coming by the billions each day. Like, no, stop lying. Be honest with the people and just say you don't want brown folks coming through. That's it. It's pretty simple. And if I'm wrong, the number says so right there. And I thought we were in a realm of facts don't care about your damn feelings. Well, Ben, these facts don't care about how you feel about immigration. I'm going to leave it at that. But once again, if you guys disagree with anything that I've said in this video, hit the Discord link down below so we can have that one-on-one talk, or let me know how you guys feel in the comments down below. And like always, let's have that conversation.